It's in this wind out here, and maybe do it in between gusts. Okay, here's a nickel laying flat with this HF coil running 14.4 kilohertz. Okay, this is reactivity 2.5 in the hot program. Okay, sensitivity's up at 93. You see the ID. Okay, now over here I've got a nickel. If you see that, 45-degree tilt, and I got that 2x4. There's a guide for height. You see that screen? Now I'm up here a little higher, about 2 inches above that 2x4, turned up on edge. No ID. Okay, now I'm gonna move this nickel here. Now I'm coming around this nickel this way, down on top of this 2x4. Pretty good ID right there. Okay, about 2 inches over that 2x4 on edge, no ID. Now I've got tone, okay, but hunting in a junk site, you know, you're on your own. Now the ground is not going to help this detector, okay, as far as ID. It'll only get worse. And iron. This detector here is, iron is more prone to mess the ID up on a non-ferrous target compared to the deus. Now that's odds, you know. The Equinox is an odds-on favorite, but now that's not to say this small coil here, depending on the detecting scenario, might give a better ID on a coin, let's say, by iron. But my use and my testing, the Equinox has got it in that department. I'm going to run the Equinox back over this right here. Reactivity 2 before I put the Equinox back over though. This is reactivity 2 silencer -1. Okay, now I'm standing on the other end of this nickel, but I'm sweeping across at 45 degrees. So 2 inches above that 2x4, I've got no numerical ID. Now I'm coming on the other side of it here now. Maybe you see that. About 2 inches. Right there's about 2 inches above that 2x4 turned up, no ID. Okay, here's the nickel over here flat. Now I'm up here about where I was a sweeping over here. Notice I'm getting some ID. So the orientation will play with this detector right here as far as giving ID. Equinox, okay, let's see if you see that screen. This is field 2, speed 6, iron by 0, census 23, and you see how high above that nickel I am. I'm a long ways over the top of that nickel, and I'm still getting good ballpark ID of like 12, okay? And here's this nickel at 45 degrees. I'm every bit of 2 inches above that 2x4. Right there's probably 3 inches. 4 inches. Okay, now I'm going to turn on this nickel. Let me move this one over here. But there's about 2 inches above the 2x4. 12, 13, 12 in the meter. Right there's over 3 inches. 13 in the meter. I see a 14 occasionally, 12. Okay, I get to 5, she gets a little squirrely. Speed 5. I'm a long ways over that nickel now. It's turned 45 degrees. 12, 13 in the meter, and I turn back like yes. This wind's getting bad. Okay.